against all these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna praying.
Hare Krishna. You see, there are many amazing opulences of Lord Krishna mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said in this world, Ganga is flowing from Gangotri down, and she goes through a long course, purifying the whole country and being available to all the millions of people who come to take a dip in the Ganges and get purified of their sins. In this way, she is a Jagat Pavani, and she has come to liberate the souls from the sinful reactions. But when Lord Krishna descends himself in this world, from whose lotus feet the Ganga flows, he also flows out from, Vrindavan to Mathura, Mathura to Dwaraka, Dwaraka to Hastinapur, and various places. He even goes to Mithilapuri to meet his two great devotees. So it is said he also moves around like Ganga and purifies all the living entities. When they, by his glance, they get purified. When they glance at him, they awaken love for him. In this way, not only he just purifies the living entities like Ganga nullifies the sins, whereas the glance of Krishna, and when one surrenders to Krishna, one is not only liberated from sins, but one is liberated out of the material world, back home, back to Godhead. At that time, even in the Kurukshetra battlefield, all those who glanced at him went back to Godhead, it is said. This is one of his excellences. Another excellence is, many avatars in this world, they liberate the jivas from birth and death entanglement. Whereas Krishna even awarded Swarupa to some of the demons also. Like you will see Aghasura or Putana. He awarded even the Swarupa to them. In this world, the living entities consider Lord Narayana to be the supreme Purusha to worship and surrender to. But the gopis of Vrindavan, when they saw Narayana, they definitely offered obeisances. But they sought the address of Krishna after him. Did you see Krishna where he is? So not only the gopis are not attracted to the Param Purush Narayana, but they are more attracted to the form of Krishna. And what to speak of the gopis? Even the Lakshmi, who is consort of the goddess, who is consort of Lord Narayana, the goddess of fortune, even she wants to go to join the rasa dance. So such is the attraction of the personality of Godhead Krishna, Supreme Personality. And not only he attracts the Lakshmi or the gopis, Naryu narascha mudita gopita nimescha. He says that all the men and the animals and the birds and trees and everybody, Yamuna, the yogis in the gufas, and even Brahma from Satyaloka, everybody is charmed by him. So this is another aspect of Krishna's descent in this world. He attracts everybody practically. That's why he's called as the Supreme Kamadeva. So, similarly, if somebody chants 1,000 names of Vishnu, it's considered a very great achievement. But one chants the name of Rama, Ram, Ram, Ram. So, then one is considered to have chanted the Vishnu Sahasranam once fully. But if one chants Krishna's name once, that is even superior to that. So in this way, the Ramanam and Vishnu Nam are compared with the Krishna Nam in the scriptures like Padma Purana. You can see that. So there are so many excellences of Krishna listed in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Padma Purana. So if that is so, then everybody may think, oh, just why not get attracted to Krishna and go back to him? But in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's a repeating theme that Krishna doesn't give access to himself very easily without the medium of the devotees. Mad Bhakta Puja Abhyadika. It says, I consider the worship of my devotee to be even greater than my worship, he says. And he says in the Adi Purana, there is one verse which says, if anybody claims to be my devotee, he is not my devotee, he says. If somebody claims to be devotee of my devotee, he is my real devotee. Like that, there is a verse which says that. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, The Lord says that Lakshmi is always after my feet. And how do you think she has developed so much attraction for me? And that is because on the top of my head I always carry the dust from the feet of my devotees. And when devotees walk, I walk behind them, trying to take the dust from their feet on my head so that I will get sanctified, by which Lakshmi want to reside in my heart or in my feet, as it says. One more verse he says, I don't consider the grains offered in the yajnic sacrifice to be as great as when those grains are cooked and offered to the mouth of a devotee. When devotees eat the prasad, I feel more joy than when Brahmanas offer it in my Vedic sacrifices. Why he says these things? Because you will see how much Lord reveres the devotees. He has reverence for the devotee. So now when we are living amongst devotees, we don't feel that kind of reverence even what Lord feels. Now Lord serving somebody is not an ordinary thing because he is the Parampurush. He is a supreme entity. There is no one equal to him, but there is no one greater than him. If he worships a devotee, why can't common people like us develop that reverence for devotee? It is only due to offensive attitude. We don't feel any attraction or charm or respect for the devotees. Rather, we feel charm after opposite sex and glitter and glamour of this world, and we struggle hard to extricate our consciousness from out of it. So, the purpose of the Brahmacharya Ashrama is to take out time to contemplate on these type of facts in life. Because imagine if you are living in the normal world, you have your job to run morning to evening, and you have to make a living, and put up a house, raise the children, with all those different responsibilities. Still there are grihasthas who are chanting 16 rounds, they are taking initiation, they are reading Prabhupada books, not an easy thing. But those who are taking to the saintly order, if we do the same thing, just okay, we have chanted 16 rounds, we have, we have read some minimum quota of reading, then how are you different from them? They are giving 10 hours for the office. What about us? So therefore, those who are in the saintly order should be able to contemplate and think about what I should be doing, where I was, where am I now, where do I want to go. So anyone who asks this question, they only grow in spiritual life. All others stagnate like a vegetable. They will not grow. And another important thing is, education means, you first learning should happen. Learning happening means you understand the subject, then there should be contemplation, then there should be application, then there should be new realization. Then that means your education was at this level, now the education is coming to this level, then it's going to this level. Then this way education, the level of education that you are learning and digesting and understanding and realizing and awakening, that should keep building day after day. So every day should be a day of little increment in knowledge, little increment in understanding, one more increment of realization, one more increment of bliss, some more drops of bliss added to our spiritual life. And then our spiritual life is meaningful. So one of the ways that Srila Prabhupada, in one of the lectures, he says, your ability to comprehend the philosophy, digest it, assimilate it and relish it, very much depends on how much you preach it. So those people who don't explain it, like I am explaining every day, you have seen the Japa Talk, correct? No? I am speaking since 2004. Wherever I go, I keep speaking. So if I speak it, then I will understand it more than when I just read it from a book and put it inside, that's all. I don't process it. Many times we get knowledge, but we don't process it. And when will we process it? Only when you think. When you think, you begin to ask questions. Why? Why not? How? All those questions you ask. Then only you process the knowledge. Then you apply the knowledge in the life. Then you get some realization. And then as you speak and realize more and more, then you get to see what are your mistakes, what are the right things you're doing, wrong things you're doing, what is to be rectified. This kind of, We need a thinking mind, especially in celibate life. If we don't have a thinking mind, then the mind has one default mode which is sense gratification. Because for whom the default mode is sense gratification, already set, the clock is set for whom? For whom? He's saying for materialists, he's saying, animals, exactly. And materials can be included in that only. It's actually for animals only, So they are called vipada pashu. If somebody is, acting instinctively. For them, the default mode that is set is mind has to go for eating and sex life. The one third thing they can do is to go to sleep. That's all, after doing both. And they don't have anything better to do in life. And all the hard work they do is ultimately for eating, sleeping and sex life. Nothing beyond that. And our mind also will flow in that direction if we are not thinking spiritual subject matter. So Prabhupada says, the students of Krishna consciousness movement are busy in researching into the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So, sometimes when Shastric study classes are set up, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Shastri, all these things, every individual has a different style of approaching it. Correct, no? Somebody can do Rag Bhata minimum, somehow give the exam we are supposed to give. And somebody is, mugging and vomiting. And somebody is partly taking part in the class and attending phone calls and seeing something else in the computer and all that. So every one of us have different degrees of sincerity. See our Purva Janma, consciousness, what we had in the previous life and our choices we made and the activities we did, that has brought about the current disposition, current position in which we are in, whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and your current disposition of mindset regarding whether you are serious or not serious. All these things are brought about from the Purva Janma. But in the current Janma, although we are in a certain situation now, we don't have to be stuck in it. Here right now you can consciously think and modify. That ability is there at every moment for us. The current moment can be made into a holy moment. And it is possible. And again we have to increase the number of moments. Holy moment after holy moment after holy moment after holy moment. So therefore we have to think. Only those who think only can change. If you don't think, you don't change at all. Then you are stagnant, as I told you. Those who don't think, they are vegetable. Therefore it is said, comfort is coffin. It is said. So you know what is coffin? Where they put the dead body. A person who wants comfort, Sukharti tyajet vidya. Sukharti chet tyajet vidya. Vidyarthi chet tyajet sukham. Who says that? Chanakya says this. He says, Sukharti chet means if you want to just enjoy sukham and comfort in life, tyajet vidyam. You forget learning, he says. And vidya chet tyajet sukham. You really want to learn and grow in spiritual life, then you have to tyajet sukham. Then don't look for a comfortable life. Real brahmachari ashrama is an ashrama of austerities. Austerity means austerity both in terms of willingness to open our mind to learn the subjects very deeply and vastly and deeply, both extensively and intensively, both. It has to be studied. Then only we grasp it. When you go intensively in an ocean, you get pearls. If you don't go intensively, then you get fishes in the top. Is it Ratna Garbha or is it Machli Garbha? Ocean is called what? Ratna Garbha. Because Ratna Garbha means Garbha only Ratna is there. The top you get only Machli. Isn't it? So, in the same manner, people who don't dive deep into the scriptures and relish it. When you go deep, then even alone you can relish it. After you have studied it, you sit and contemplate and meditate. What a wonderful thing the Shastras say like that. But if you are superficially somehow or other studying and washing off and then you are doing busily your own activity, what you want to do, then it's only a matter of time one will lose taste. And once we lose taste, the next ashrama is ready. One will have to go. And it has happened to many, many people. Don't think I'm discouraging. It's a reality. We have seen with our eyes. Those who don't become thrilled in diving deep in the Shastric study, especially in Brahmacharya ashrama, and those who don't feel that joy, especially a personal joy, inner joy, it is something which keeps the life going. The spiritual life can go on and on and on. day after day, month after month, year after year. You'll be thrilled about it. And those who don't go deep and dive and get those pearls and come, what is that pearl? Pearl is a realization. Just like a seashell is open, when the raindrop falls into it, closes, then it goes into the ocean and goes round and round in the waves. Then after many, many years, when it comes out, it has pearl. It has pearl. Similarly, one should be very open, willing to receive that mercy coming in the form of Bhaktivedanta purports. Receive it. And then think about it, contemplate, come up with a plan of action. Then after some years, you find the pearl-like realization. One will get that. But there are devotees who are escaping, who are not, when the very nice training is coming, they become like this. And they are also present, physically present. Only thing is there is no receptivity. And then they also go like that. After many years, you come and see nothing is there inside. Because no realization. Because they have not deepened the knowledge. They were in the class. They were in the morning program also. But now no much realization. And another reason for the lack of realization is offenses. When we commit offenses to one another, we hurt one another. Then mind becomes preoccupied with revengeful thoughts, anger, unhealthy comparison, all these unwanted negative vibrations, which don't allow us to get any realization. It's like a hot tawa, you sprinkle some water, immediately goes off. Similarly, an offensive mind, which is filled with dualities, the spiritual pearls like realizations cannot stick on for a long time. Only one who has developed very deep appreciation. Actually, it's not that somebody is scolding a devotee, he's a offender or something like that. Prabhupada scolded like anything. It's not that Prabhupada is very sensitive to every small thing. But Prabhupada, that is the main important point. He was very genuine. He did not have any malicious thoughts towards anybody. Not even the envious God brothers who were trying to not give him land in Mayapur. He said even he went back to Godhead, he said. He had no malice towards anybody. So maintaining, harboring malice towards somebody, and superficially, even if you are sensitive in behavior, but in the heart you are harboring malice, then we are committing offenses. So, in this way, when we study the Shastra, it is not just a theory or a phenomenon. It's a practical reality. The Lord is telling about the devotees. So, one hand, two things I am telling this morning today. One is having a proper disposition towards devotees. And somebody was asking, Prabhuji, we know it, we have heard it, but the change doesn't come. The change doesn't come because you have to find out the sources from where you can read more about it. As well as Gauravan Maharaj has spoken a lot about that. There are many, many articles, literatures. If anybody has problem with devotees, you have to gather those articles and lectures and ask yourself, how much are you hearing your spiritual master? Majority of the people don't hear enough. They don't read even the transcripts also. Because specific lectures you take and hear on the topic of respecting devotees, you cannot be the same person if you keep regularly hearing. Because the regular dose of spiritual master is going into your ears, but many a times that is not going, something else only is going inside. And that is why one is not able to bring about a change. So this was one thing I said. Another thing, study of the Shastras. You can cheat me, you can cheat him, cheat somebody, but ultimately you cannot cheat Krishna. Because you cheat Krishna, then he will not give you realization. You may do many big things in the outside world and be popular in the eyes of the outside world, but tomorrow people will suddenly realize that you are like a shooting star. Shooting star, it shines in the sky. It goes like a tail, it makes a tail kind of thing, and then it vanishes. On the other side, you find the Dhruvatara. The early morning you can see the pole star. It is fixed in one place and shining. Does it blink? It doesn't blink. It just shines continuously. So you want to be like a pole star, or you want to be like a shooting star. Whose choice it is? Your choice. It is your choice. What do you want to do with your life? So if you want to be like a pole star, then we have to become fixed up in receiving the mercy which is coming in the form of Shastric study, the classes, the training programs, the exams. ISKCON Society Prabhupada made to facilitate us with deepening the understanding of the Shastra. While living in the ashrama, we should not waste a single moment. We should deepen our understanding of the Shastra and get the pearls, not just superficially be hovering we may spend days and months and years without digesting. So these two things I was telling. One is deepen your, go for a deep dive study of the Shastra and think and understand, appreciate, take many preaching opportunities and digest the Shastra and then speak and relish and realize. That was one point I said. Another point about dealing with devotees, cultivate a sound, genuine, honest, transparent relationship. And don't be superficial in your thank yous and haribols and everything. Be very honest in your dealing. To the degree kaya, vacha, manasa, you are sincere and genuine. To that degree you will see Krishna in the heart will be pleased. And then he is willing to give you, access to deeper and deeper understanding of the Shastra and realization. Because it says, Surat Satam. That verse says, Shinvatam Sukata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanat. So, the chanting of the holy name every day is an opportunity to pray to Lord that I am a superficial devotee, my dear Lord, please make me a deep devotee. I am simply a show bottle, make me a real bottle. The show bottle, like what the compounder shows, different colored syrups. I want to be a real tonic, not a show bottle tonic bottle. So, in this way, there is opportunity for prayer and there is opportunity for action, both available. Action towards devotees, action towards Shastra, that is practical action. And the prayer will impel you to do the right action because the prayer is addressed to the Supreme Personality who is in control of everything and everyone. And if we pray, offer a prayer, this is my prayer, please help me to approach the devotees with proper sincerity. That is secondary. First you have to, if you become a genuine devotee, the genuineness itself will attract so many people. So, in this way, when we come for a brahmachari camp, out, these are times we are close to nature. There should be some time of the day when each and every one of you can sit close to nature and contemplate on your spiritual life and what I have been doing and how I can do better. So as I told you, what I was, what I am now, and what I want to be. And what education I have received, what part of education I have made an effort to apply, and what part of education that I applied has already become practical realization and I am convinced about it. So in this way, three-stage approach, if you take, then the progress is very rapid in spiritual life. And it will bring you to more and more, you will become well grounded, there will be no shocks. Because if you are not grounded, there is shocks, correct? Earthing. If you don't do earthing, right now sitting on earth, you are safe. If you don't do earthing, there is shock. Somebody just hovering here and there without earthing, they get shocks in spiritual life. So if you don't want shocks and knocks, if you want to have stability, these are very practical things. Chant the whole name with that prayerful mood. Anyone who, even if throughout your chanting, some portion of your chanting a prayerful mood arises, the heart will do so much good for us. It's not that throughout the chanting we did very well. We know how much difficulty we have. We tend to doze away, or we tend to, my mind tends to wander away. But even some portion of the chanting is done in a prayerful mood. The super soul in your heart is attentive to it. Namo Layaya, it says. So he will take notice of the prayer and then he will do great good. And now, okay.